Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gupta series here on the Lord Master channel, in which, oh boy, why is this man running this empire, but yet he is trying to prove himself and to all the others wrong? Because for years, Padma Singh has been said by his younger brother Bhairav Singh by saying, he's no good, he's unqualified, he's full of, so he's all that and more. But yet, that man runs the empire and perhaps a bit more skilled than people give him credit for, due to the artifacts he's inherited from the previous ruler, which again, brother was murdered on the orders of Harshavam and Ramapalad, and which paid him back in return, which made me a known murderer, which isn't good for general opinion. I was about to say public opinion, but it can be public too. So some of the vassals are a bit unruly, only because some of them wants to be in the council. Not to mention disapproving the crown authority. So it's just these two kingdoms of Tamilakam, also Lanka, and Koshala, also Rajputana, are the only ones that do not like me as a ruler, because I haven't really given in their demands and all that. But here's the deal. As much as I would like to make a lot of money, but unfortunately, the imperial decay has been increasing occurrence because of the bureaucracy and all that. So the morale of the armies are down, in a little bit of a vassal opinion. We don't get much of levy contributions from everybody. And the main tax modifier has been lowered. Even the size of the domain has been lowered, but we're still strong. We're still a strong nation if the domain levy size can increase, which we will invest in that. That's how I got all this great wealth for it. Also, I'm on the verge of having another child from this wife of mine who recently became a Buddhist ascetic. We're both of the Mahayana sect of Buddhism, which gives us a +5 vassal opinion, which is a must-have if you're running a Buddhist empire. But again, my original intention, had Bhairav Singh continued his rule, he would have restored Hinduism back to its state, but instead, Buddhism has become more alluring. But Hinduism remains strong in most areas, while Jainism still has a role to play here, basically. But as for Muslim minorities, well, they haven't caused us trouble yet. But again, if you want to lower that imperial decay, there is a way. You gotta lower your crown authority. Rome is overthrown by internal revolt, which nobody would want that. Winning crusades and holy wars, which we've been using holy wars, but it doesn't seem to be working. Winning major invasions and rebellions is another. Enforcing imperial de jure claims is another. And random events caused by a good ruler or a good regent. What makes it a good ruler? Does a man have to be virtuous? Does he have to be just? I mean, again, he's charitable, erudite, patient, and diligent. He's mostly good. But unfortunately, he's a hedonist. With that increased fertility, hence the reason why he impregnated her. And we'll soon have another child. But again, Rajan Singha, who is going to be the future Samrat, and most likely be the future Samrat Chakravartin, which means the universal ruler. He's the chosen one, basically, just by default. Because, it has to be the eldest child. If there is another son, I don't want to designate him as heir, regardless of skill. Because I'm an old man, and he's my eldest, so therefore the eldest has to rule. That's the way it's going to be. But to be a wise ruler in the future, I could see what his education is going to be, but we will know that in a few months. It takes strong men to rule, you know? Take revenge. Vicious rumors. Oh yeah, he's a known murderer because he helped me on the murder plot. And since you are a known murderer, I could arrest you right now, but you're Maharaj, so you don't need to do that. Unless we had a disagreement, then I would put a bounty on you. Easiest thing in the world. Just say, just put a bounty on a guy that you don't like. If the opinion's less than 30, that is. We've only been improving Mugad a bit. But these areas here needs to be improved upon also. Needs more barracks. Oh, really neglected that. To be fair, it's those raiders that ruin everything. Mithila has been raided a few more times. I remember this was the home of Ramagupta from the very beginning of that series. It was a peaceful place. But now it's a home of an incestuous couple. But still peaceful. And volatile Mudgagiri. Put a crown focus on that. It ain't what it used to be, man. The truce won't expire until much later. But I could care less about fighting other wars as much as I just want to live. Live long enough to see him grow up to be a man. So I could pass away nice and peaceful. But not too soon, but later. Here's another way to invest my money on since I got all this time. Or is it? Oh yes, search the domain for resources. I ain't got time to write a book. If I was younger, I would have done it. Haven't done a pilgrimage yet, but they haven't called me for it. Could Senegara's peaceful? I'm drinking some herbal tea that is meant to be a good health tonic. However, I drink a little too fast and burn my tongue in front of everyone. Ouch! At least that's good for me. Yeah, that is all the buildings to build. Oh, except for this one. This needs to get done. Increase the trade value. This is my other son. Oh, we're gonna do this now, like the Singh brothers. Now it's the Singha brothers, even though it's like we got Rajat Singha and his younger brother Vishwa Singha. Sensing a theme here. No, I promised him. Well, we're good friends, brother, so... And hopefully you'll be a good warrior. Never mind. Well, at least the descendants will be ruling Gujarat. You got the Guptas of the Telangana? Oh no, not anymore. Oh. And the Guptas will only be ruling Gujarat down there. And I'm sure one day they'll probably adopt Gujarati culture if they care. Or even Rajput. So yes, you're my new spy master. Sorry, brother, but we'll remain friends. Because you are more skilled than the other. And hopefully uncover a few plots for us. When that hospital building is finished, time to collect taxes again. You know what, let's go in after him. Despite the old age, I'm a capable fighter. I ain't scared. Whoever's the most skilled is coming with me. Because these guys have been raiding the area and they ought to be stopped. Your focus should be duty. Because it can lead to either diligent or temperate. Either that is good. Hopefully if he gets that trait. But you know, sometimes I wish I was a Hindu. Because it doesn't have that power. Which gives, you know, a little more further education. Perhaps I'll teach him a virtue in the future should I live long enough. But don't be scared. These are the men we'll be fighting against. Vagapara Pet, of course, because he's a Mazdan. His character's taken a hedgehog into his house, which happily returned and hunts down a vermin. Yes, hedgehogs are sacred in Zoroastrian faith, but I don't know about Manichaeanism. But I did play as a Manichaean once. That was Croatia. It's the new Tovich series. Briefly Manichaean before fully settled on Zoroastrianism. From Slavic pagan to Zoroastrian. Now get back to position. Oh, look at this. There's a disease around here. The Ibadi heresy has appeared in Accountia Mama. Accursed heathens. Even though that's way over in Africa. Which our vassal holds. Oh, okay, we do hold a fort over here. Become friends with him. Since we build a sophisticated hospital. Okay, hang on. What am I usurping? Ah, duchy. Now, Raj, a premier. Whoever is the owner of this area shall have it. It started some time ago. Bomuka. Chuna. Oh, it started in Chunar. It's just going that way. Thought it would come to here as we originally feared. Don't even think about it. You come back over here and we're gonna kick you out. Earlier is an old folk tale about this area, something about a magic bush or a similar thing that must not be disturbed. The elder of one of the local villages is hysterically telling my workers to leave. Send my spy master to the day with him. The Savaka Sangha is in need of more funds to maintain charitable functions. We hope you are able to spare some of your worldly wealth to help us in this holy mission. Suvaste Bandana Santu. You got it. Donate to charity. Yep. Yes, sir. That'll be for recognition from one fellow Buddhist to another. You haven't impregnated your wife, have you? No. I like to see her unite the realm. You know, may never know we'll see the reformation of Tibet again. Although it's wishful thinking, because they have to deal with Manichaeans first. Sure, I'll gladly attend. But can't kill him because his intrigue is way too high. Okay. So he cannot be assassinated. My intrigue is fine. My wish to become a better Buddhist has led me to a noble eightfold path. As I have followed this holy path, I've noticed that my sense of ego and need for recognition has all but vanished. This helped me focus on the things which really matter. Now I am humble. I shall become anagami. I've heard the Samkhya philosophy and can feel that its materialistic, erudite, epistemological ideas have certain similarities with the Buddhist philosophy. Would I want to delve deeper into it? No, I could make this work. Yep, I'm here for the coordination because I feel that we'll be good friends. Maybe. If not, then it's not. That's what I often say. Guess that camp fever is just localized over there. That's the Gelmo herself. Long live the Galpo. Not so localized now. Hostile agent operating in Jawanpur is able to fuel the discontent on the local province against the stability in the province declines. Blast. Blast. Now build more structures. When they're done, of course. A priest from the local temples arrived asking to speak with me. My lord, the holy elephants at the temple are all sick. However, we've learned that there is a healer in the neighboring province who is famous for healing ailing elephants. He is, however, most expensive. I shall pay for it. That'll win some respect around here. Oh, this again. Again, we'll find out who's behind all this, which is heavily modified by the realm intrigue, which isn't much. Gee, it's getting a little closer. There's a 43% chance of epidemics resistance. %89 done. Or is it? I thought they would have something that's for disease resistance. But boy, I would hate it to be living in seclusion. That reminds me. How many Buddhist holy sites do we control? You do not control this one. That's over there in Bamiyan. Chosen of Ashoka Buddhist Holy Order. You do have the karma. Well, not quite there yet, but if you want to fight for it, well, you're gonna have to go up again. Hey, that's a new caliph. That means truce has expired. But remember, you're still committed to uniting all of India. But since we're gonna remain Buddhist for a foreseeable future, you have all but one holy site. And it is part of Kabulistan. If you want to fight the war, think about getting Kabulistan. Claim Transoxiana. I was looking up some of these things. So yeah, you could get one more holy site, but the problem is that you're not going to have enough karma to, and Dhamma be around long enough to form the Chosen of Ashoka Holy Order. Or you just let it form naturally. But however, for the Hindus, you do have all the holy sites for the Hindus, I believe. You're a Hindu, right? Yes, sir. Trying to do some counting in my head. Yeah. Yeah, you do. Well, it's an either or thing. But again, willing to fight another holy war. Huh. It's 2 areas of Stravani. Sarasastra is another. And we can get Sakala in the future. So Sarasastra will be the place to be, because they got so many holy wars. In fact, Yadava has declared a holy war for Kabulistan itself. So they already are at it. Plus... oh, just do it. There are no raiders right now. So head over there. I know some of the vassals will be mad at me for raising their levies, and it may cause some tensions around here, especially amongst the court faction, which I will start swaying you, and I will award you a minor title. and we'll be sending a chance to improve relations with each and every one of my vassals. Okay. You got it. Sarastra is the place to be. They got their hands full. Do you have the power? Event sponsor. Where did you get these guys? Are you a member of the, No, he's not a member of any society. Then where did he get them? These aren't mercenaries. But he has been investing. As... Where did he get them? That's the real question. But anyways, off you go. I'm very enthusiastic about this. Sure, they'll be bringing allies, which is the reason why. I've learned that he spoke his support of me at the faction meeting in Kanchipuram, slightly improving the mood of his faction. Alright, good to know that he's improved it. Tuba Qinghai Zhu has recently arrived at Magat and has formally presented himself at court. My lord, I want a campaign to take my rightful titles of the chiefdom of Lingsang from Chief Lidge. With your blessing, which raise support here in the Gupta Empire for my growing army. Oh dear. He's just a commander. He may recruit in the Gupta Empire as we're in the middle of a war here. What the hell am I doing? I'm crossing through diseased territory. You don't want to catch camp fever. What's the matter with you? Prosperity faction support inside the host of banquets, so burger vassal tax increase a bit. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're only sending the levies over here, not the retinue. The retinue stays in case of raiders. Good. Sorry, I won't be there for you. Give him a chance. I always like giving people chances because I'm a patient person. Yeah, so not much to deal with it. We two at least 10,000 strong. And you're about to get it. Okay, now head down to Somnath. Hasn't come here yet. Hang on. Phew. It was just a weak sneeze. I'm fine. Oh man, this is not a great place to be gathering our troops here. I live my life as other men do, navigating its rocks and obstacles, doing my best to achieve success in my endeavors. Still, everything we do takes place in the light of perfected ones. We must take care lest the influence of Mara comes into our lives. Should ponder this more deeply. Pillow talk. As we lie both awake in bed after a night of lovemaking, Dr. Devi came close to my ear and whispered a request that caused a shiver up my spine. Out of thin air, she proposed to take the role of Kshetra Vidra, my steward, to be part of the council. A deep, wet kiss, full of desire, pointedly underscores her appeal for a positive answer. Oh, hell. You believe you will have what it takes to be a steward? No. I'd rather have you be a marshal. I mean, after all, you're an Imperial Guard. You know how these things work. If I were to do that, people will not like me for having a female counselor. I mean, after all, she's sexually aroused for that, but... let me see. I would say that perhaps we should discuss this now, so... Oh boy. Because, you know, I'm a man with pretty good diplomacy, with plenty of good skills, so... I don't have the education, but I do have the stats. I am not a socializer, nor gregarious, not silver-tongued, not cheerful, not shrewd as far... No, I am shrewd. I ain't lustful, but I am hedonist, which... Ugh, that hurts. I am neither content, nor trusting, nor envious, cruel, devout, wrath. No, not any of it. But as for my spouse, her intrigue stats are low. She's not a master schemer, nor has the intrigue education. She's a military woman at heart. She is not shrewd, not deceitful, nor bright, nor quick or a genius, not stubborn, nor wrathful. If I tell her no, then it would be a serious lack of harmony, which is a major flaw. Or give her a land title, which I would give her a Vaginot instead, which I don't think it really matters because, you know, when she passes away, that land goes back to me, or the successor. But she could refuse the offer, and then I would probably have a penalty for it. But I say we should perhaps we should discuss this now. Volatility ends here. Good. Now put the crown focus back in Mugad so we can improve the prosperity of it here. Still paranoid about, is this place really going to succumb to a disease sooner or later? I gotta get this one day. At a certain age, I will switch to scholarship focus. Over many nights, patiently, with kindness, care, and empathy, and never falling prey to the basic carnal desires by themselves, I was able to impart on my Data Devi the notion that a council position was indeed below her station. Seduced by my personality and complimented by my lovemaking, she accepted her position at the court and laid the matter to rest. A virtuous display of seduction. Well, I do lead a life of debauchery of sin, which, when I'm done grooming my heir for Rajat Singha in the future, I gotta get rid of this decadent lifestyle. Prison everyone you see. Just get down here. Thank you. Okay, you want to be the new spy master? Deviant opinion. And plus you're drunk. I would say no, but you have the skills, but I don't want a craven drunk to be ruling here. Well, ruling, to be my spy master. Spy masters do rule in the shadows. Continue to invest in the military a little more. Because I really need to increase the levy size of the domain. And castle towns just to increase a little bit that tax income, as the tax income gets lowered every time we increase the size of the military by building its buildings. Checkup complete. Move on. No, not quite yet. You still got a few more holdings to go. Talented individual. My pious Upadhyaya told me that there's a very talented individual of low-born origins, and that can be a very fitting addition to my court. After letting the information sink in, he proceeds to suggest I approach this character to know what he wants. Of course, asking a simple courtier to come to my court was not the most prestigious of actions. They would have a disdain for me if I would do that, but I'll say, don't care about lowborns. Get out! Excuse me? On vacuum. Well, that's an odd culture. Oh, I know why. He is a graduate of the Chinese Imperial Academy, and whoever was running the academy at that time, or of that culture. I say. Oh, they've just united the realm. Or better yet, conquered. That man is still alive. Magad is now a serene province, thanks to high stewardship and a few other things, including the crown focus and all that. You got it. Buy him proper tires. Yes, I know you're getting mad over the raised levies, but we're trying to end this war soon. Just a few more holdings and we can take this without a fight again. Disease is going away now. 92%. %. all to you, brother. Here's Somnath. And here's Wallaby. Apparently you got a local death cult in your capital, brother. You ought to deal with that. And you've been lacking good sleep. And obese. Oh my goodness, this is what happens when you're fat. Is your son ready for... Well, yeah. Yeah, he is. So we won that holy war. That little ingrate. That's another victory added to our name. Now we need this and this, and the unification of India will be complete. It appears you are winning this war, but those forces have been driven you out. But I will give you financial aid. I'm going to send you a bunch of gifts. I know it will not increase the opinion further, but this is just to give him mercenaries. I'm going to give him all the way up to 1,000 gold. So he can hire mercenaries and he will defeat the enemy and hold the objectives. One more for good measure. Hope you win. Over the past few months, unexplained apparitions have appeared in several areas in Ratsakanda. After sunset, frightening the locals, suddenly in the past week or so, however, these ghostly figures have disappeared. Ironically, this frightens the people living here even more, as no one knows if this is an omen or something. The so-called ghosts are gone now. We should be happy. I mean, this sounds like me. Content, trusting, patient, potential. Didn't pick up any traits. Unless it's the ones I already have, like patient. Hey, you got gonorrhea. You shut your... Hey. Garden's finished. Well, knowing about what happened in the past, especially what happened to my brother, let's have a hidden burial spot. The sweet smell of flowers and thick undergrowth can hide the darkest of secrets. This is for plot power increase and plot power defense. To prevent, being assassinated. Hari Singh the Fat, they call my brother. I believe I convinced Maharaja Damad IV of the Pandya Kingdom to permit me in a meeting with the entirety of the court faction. If you allow it, I will attempt to gain their fervor on behalf. Of course, cannot guarantee success. Well, make the attempt. Sorry about that, Stuart. A daring vassal. In a most daring move, Maharaja Sisupala is forcefully demanding that I will cede privileges, claim he is a most loyal subject and deserves such a reward. The truth is, he thinks he's powerful enough to make a demand instead of request. Whispers of rebellion upon denial were also heard. Oh yeah, that guy. Who's on a pilgrimage. On a journey. The journey to wherever. As he likes to travel places. In fact, I don't think he's been here at all. I don't think he's ever ruled. I don't care how powerful he is, I shall not be blackmailed. There's a 12% chance he declares war on me. If he does, well then, Kosal and Rajputana is going to be quite a conflict. Ah, damn it. For a long while now, I've not felt the presence of the Arhat in my thoughts. I'm starting to wonder if there's really is any truth to the Buddha Vakana, or perhaps just an old book written by clever liars. You got yourself some mercenaries, just as I figured. He is winning. Keep winning. Reinforcements are on the way. Did you bring any allies, by the way? Metapata. Okay. These blasphemous feelings will soon pass. Didn't become depressed. That's good. I got my faith in you because, you know. Keep it up. Some more monthly karma. You wise old Greek giant. Teach me about diplomacy. I'd like to learn a little bit more diplomacy. I have the patience for this. As well as the learning skill that I bring to the table. Oh. This is problematic. You need to drop that act. And apparently he's experiencing Gates of Hell event. There's something strange about that man. He hasn't committed any crimes yet, but... And he hasn't killed that much. They just mostly die in dungeons. There is something wrong with that man. I know it. Especially that man, who refused him to give him privileges. You're a malcontent, aren't you? No. I'll sway you next. How'd you like to be the cupbearer? Couldn't improve relations. I like how they call him the Tamil. What earned him the nickname of a man of that culture? The herbalists and physicians of Mithila have become famous in recent times for the quality of their herbal medicines made using various plants, herbs, minerals, and so on unique to Mithila. That's good to hear. I ought to have some. Want me to build a new temple? I think there's room somewhere. Like here, in Mudgagiri. And send a steward over. Because we want this temple built, and built right now. Because there's going to be some karma for this. And if he can take Kabulistan for us, then we will form the Chosen of Ashoka Holy Order. Just be patient. It'll be done next September. Well, we did much what we can here with a reduction of build time modifier. Oh yes. He's a bureaucrat too, you know, because... But his skills are still good enough. You don't have any claims, but... Oh wait, that's somebody else. This is the man. Ugh. Get the heck out of here. I ain't got time for you. I shall write a book on philosophy, so let's see how this goes. I did it for natural philosophy, so why not this one? Go on. Yeah, we're definitely increasing the size of the domain. A little more than we originally thought. I find my courtier's wolfish grin unsettling. Yeesh. That's my kinsman of Maharashtra. Used to hold Telangana at Delhi. Well, he's got a wolfish grin. In my opinion, it's rather precarious of that man. This character has a very unsettling grin that makes him look like a ravenous wolf, ready to pounce on some fresh meat. He's got a list too. And also he's left-handed, which makes very little difference on church opinion. Now, when you say church opinion, do they mean, you know, something like, left-handed, left-handed, look for left-handed. No. No, that applies to Christians, not people of the Dharmic faiths. Because we Indians could care less about who's right-handed or left-handed and all that. A noble by the name of Ngozi came to court today seeking asylum. Claimed to escape from China after the rest of his family was executed on orders. Oh, great Samrat, your merciful nature is known across the land. I implore you to grant me refuge. It would be of untold kindness. Was there some kind of reward in your head? I allowed him to stay and secretly sent a letter letting the emperor know. I have a guard who once visited a distant village by the forest said to be the gateway to the world beyond. He went in the forest despite the locals' warning. There, he encountered a pale maiden wearing a white dress. Though she was charming and bashful, he fled immediately, knowing this must have been a frightening spirit of some sort. Locals say such sightings are common. For the karma. Frightening things lie beyond the fringes of civilization. Pale maidens. Where would you see that in India? Probably northeast with the Punjabi, or even Iranians, or even further beyond there. What the hell happened to the Byzantine Empire? It's been a while since I took a good look at Europe. The Republic of Dalmatia. Excuse me. The most serene Republic of Dalmatia. Who is friend of the Jews and all that. And prove those... That's rather odd. Refused to act against... No. He refused to act against Jewish moneylenders, so he's a friend of the Jews, see? So this makes it the largest republic in the game. Yes. And Amalfi too. 99% Imperial decay. Finally talking private. Hopefully we can get along. It is surprising how often the Maharaj Sultan and I found ourselves debating theology during the visit. Suppose it was inevitable between two people of wildly different beliefs to spend such a long period of time together. Yes, I'm Buddhist, you're Hindu. Hope these debates help us understand and accepting our differences. And yet you Hindus call us Buddhists heretics and atheists. Soon after writing to the Chinese Emperor, a grateful emissary arrived with several guards to escort Nosy back to the Chinese Empire. You can't understand what they'll do to me, screamed Z. So it was dragged out. I'm sure it can't be that bad. Oh, hell. They're winning. Wahhabite Emirate came from all the way from Egypt. He's got mercenaries of his own. They'll ruin everything. Trained diplomats now. That's good to know. But you need to improve your stewardship. You can't manage an empire well unless you have high stewardship. I have proved that you are being trained as a diplomat. Highly approve it. It's told a eerie story. There's many strange things out there. Yes, they are. Oh, that's 2 for me. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, by the way, this is on vacuum, that other book I got. Another stewardship book. So, Padma Singh, despite the fact that, again, his younger brother is like, no, you cannot rule. No, you're too... Yeah, and all that negative stuff that he said about him. Even spread vicious rumors about him. But Padma Singh proved them wrong, as he was able to keep the empire stable. Even though the imperial decay is pretty much still there. Just a moment. So he composed natural observations of Samrat Padma Singh, and now the Migrants of Musings by Samrat Padma Singh. An insightful work on this particular philosophy gives you +1 diplomacy. See? Everything is positive with it. Why the hell are y'all worried? Now it's that time again. Oh, come on. That was only 1. Again, it says it's between 1 to 3, but... By the way, you lost all that karma again. But you'll get it back. You'll get it back up when that temple is finished later this year. You're getting sick, so no. Yeah, kinda. And you, Extremely temperate. Okay, it'll be you. I'll have that man right there. The third generation of young men from Mithila have won fame for their bravery and strength while fighting my armies. They bring much honor to their families. Get strong lads from them. Of course. Wait. Military buildings first. Doing whatever it takes to increase the domain levy size up, so we can even it out for vassals, so we can fend off rebellions. No, he's still around. He's clinically insane, therefore incapable. Gonorrhea, lunacy, gates of hell, all that stuff. It got the worst of him, so he's out. Don't have to worry about him anymore. Well, you're finally gonna get your council position. Appreciate your cooperation. Any other unruly vassals? Well, then there's this man who is still on a journey, as he's a wanderlust. So he's traveled far to discover new cultures, new religions, and new customs, earning valuable knowledge all the peasant. The man just likes to travel. How long has he been ruling? Because it feels like he's been around forever. He has been around forever. He's been ruling since he was a child. And ever since he became an adult. I would have to assume he's been traveling and traveling and traveling, never to return. So, might as well. The man could be a potential troublemaker. Ignorance conquered. Alright. Load up another. Oh, I'll take this. What are you doing? Increased council power. You're not going to get anything done with that. Finally. Vikramasila. That's the name of the new village. I mean, temple. You know what I mean? Nayadev, who is a terrible person. I just laugh. Bit by bit. A friend of mine once told me that you would respond to stress by laughter. I guess you were failing. That you're not taking the objective, and you can't defeat these guys as they're currently, assaulting the area. I've always enjoyed a karate of personal guard to protect my person, but recently, Hari Yamandal's proved his loyalty and determination to be the best of them. Indeed, just the other day, he stopped a would-be assassin from entering the palace grounds. Well done, I feel safer already. For the next 5 years, Imperial bodyguards, adding more plot power defense and discovery chance. A former peasant leader, who is sword tongue. Trained fighter and Imperial Guard. Glad you're with us. Eek. She's ugly. You know what? I don't think I've heard anything about my son. I'm temperate now, but too many traits now. I don't think he's picked up a single genetic trait yet. Okay, this December, switch to scholarship focus. Although I'll be taking some of that health off of me, and it may shorten my life, but I'm kind of confident that his first few years of childhood isn't going to hurt. And with me investing in more military buildings to increase the levy size, we should be alright to fend off any potential rebellions. But of course the main difference is I have a high martial skill, so hence the reason why the domain levy size is like that. Actually, one more thing. Well, I do have the karma, but unfortunately we're not going to get Kabulistan. I wish I could have you send more money and all that. Why would I lend him money? It's just too bad your vassals did not cooperate with you. The war is prolonged, and they're winning this because these guys have the money. Because they got the mercenaries, they got the vassals, they traveled far. It's also led by a genius. The combination of all things. I'm trying to think in my head. Where are we, by the way? Yeah, we're still far away from that. You know, they'd never given me this mission. I might as well go on a pilgrimage. And at the same time, switch scholarship. And when I return, build an observatory. I will start making traveling plans. There's many places devout Buddhists might visit during a pilgrimage. They will undoubtedly offer enlightenment, but a closer location may make for a safer journey. Bodh Gaya's right next door, so it's a very short pilgrimage. Well, to be fair, I'm an old man. If I were to travel to Sarnath, which is here, that's too close here. The monasteries of Sanchi, which is I know it's somewhere in southern India. Sanchi is, like, say, around there. But you know what? I will go to Bodh Gaya, or the Buddhist line from Maga to Gaya. Just a short walk. Because take it easy, I'm an old man. If I was younger, I would love to travel to Sanchi. Maybe my future son, should he be a pious person just like me. Wheatfield and Chunar. Get to work. My preparations are all done, and now it's time to begin my pilgrimage for Bodh Gaya and the sacred Bodhi tree. Even though Gaya itself is ran by Hindus, and they have been for centuries. He's been thinking about foreign lands, and he's had some delicious candy. Candy is a good source for sugar, which most people don't get enough of these days. And this is the man who properly runs Bodh Gaya itself. Who's in debt, obviously. My short journey begins. I'll be right back. The world's shortest pilgrimage. Everything seems to taste foul today. Was it the local cuisine or that night spent camping in a swamp? It's hard to say for sure, but something is not right with this pilgrim. It's kind of whatever to me, but it is time to rest and heal. Not cynical, nor getting sick. Cut it out with the potential chances of cynicism. Hidden burial spot is finished in the garden. And now, Bodh Gaya. I finally arrived in Bodh Gaya, by many considered the seat of Buddhism. It was here that Buddha once sat under the tree of enlightenment, meditating on the mysteries of the universe. Over the centuries, rulers and influentials both in India and further away have contributed to a great number of temples, monasteries, and shrines at this post. To this day, the monks of Bodh Gaya has kept a giant Bodhi tree alive here, a huge pepal right next to the diamond throne that the ruler of another age built to commemorate the event. As I approach the blue-tiled walls of the massive Mahabodhi temple, I can reflect on how different this site must be from when the Buddha himself came here. At that point, he was not unlike yourself, a simple ascetic seeking enlightenment. I too seek to be enlightened, even though I'm having a bit of trouble with this life of debauchery and sin. But when Rajasingha turns 12 and groom my heir, and when it's done, I will learn to reject this lifestyle. I promise that I hope I can beat that before I will finally go. The day that I go. This place is invigorating to the mind. Be able to engage so many great minds of religion and theology has stimulated my understanding and willingness to explore the finer points of the faith. Hours and even days are lost in conversation with sadhus, priests, and monks about the deeper meaning of various passages in the Buddha Vacana. Enlightenment can only be achieved through meditation, I say. Don't want to be zealous. Yeah, I could see that. Oh boy, we need to get to work. That's Tradition faction. Just recently formed, opposes me. Glory is hostile to me, but the vast majority is part of prosperity, and we must improve relations with everybody. If that guy doesn't die just as soon as I get back here. I am home at last after my journey. I've learned new things, experienced the greatest of the faith, and met with interesting people. While it's good to be home, I'm confident I'll always remember this trip very fondly. A great experience. Thank you for holding the fort for me. It wasn't until several weeks after the banquet I heard about it and wondered why I was not invited. I was out on a pilgrimage. Is Narcisse and I aren't nice and our friends? I'll just say maybe he forgot. I have my excuse. I was out on a pilgrimage to here. I didn't have time to go further south and meet you down here. I didn't have time. Didn't know you were a member of the Trade League. Anyways, I can't not get any rest from Dr. pestering me about making her good friend Spy Master. She does not care our Spy Master is competent, skilled, and a great Spy Master. And subsequently a man who is failing. There's another conflict as they bring in yet another ally to them. Nothing you say or do will make me change my mind. I don't even want to look at the statistics of that man. I assume he ain't good. I'll gladly attend. You forgot the observatory! A hermit has lived in the wilderness of Magad for decades, engaging in meditation, prayer, and other spiritual practice. He was kind and always offered spiritual teachings for any who requested it. Though he refused all offerings of food, drink, or other luxuries, now the news arrives that he has passed away while meditating. And yet, his corpse still sits upright and does not decay at all. Locals have begun making pilgrimage to receive blessings from the hermit's presence. Most interesting development. For the next 20 years, lower default risk, modifier increase in piety gain here. So yes. For years, a famous hermit dwelled in the wilderness, this region, engaging in spiritual practice while giving the locals guides and spiritual support. He's recently passed away, but his place of death has become a minor site of pilgrimage. Yet to get any genetic traits. No. Yet to hear that Rajat Singh picked up any genetic traits at all. Probably either pick up tall or attractive. We would have noticed it if he's at that age. Maharaj ki jai ho. Now please, let me build an observatory so I can get to work. That's what I'm going to spend the rest of my life on. And everybody else will be banished. Surprised you're still around. An impressive migration. Oh dear. A large number of people, women, children, and men, have been arriving in my domain, coming from afar. They seek a new life in a new territory. My territory. Protected by my rule and enjoying the fruits of the land. It is time to decide how to receive them. Oh dear. So they went to Varanasi. Because I'm always for a policy of integration. Of course, it may cause friction and stability changes. So please do. So crud. Large migration. Now when you say foreign individuals, do we, let's assume, are they of the Hindustani people? Or even Nepali or whoever? Greeks even? Maybe. Nobody wants to know. I don't need to usurp that. Even though I do have a claim of good job, but I don't need to do that. So that means my brother's passed. Died of an infected wound. Well. Yeah. We'll miss your brother. And now they call me the Tenacious. Wasn't there a past ruler in the history of our dynasty starting in Mugged that had a tenacious nickname before? Now, we had the wise, the champion, the holy, the cruel, the fearless, the just. No nickname because he died too soon. And now they call me the tenacious. I think it's due to the fact of the, it's one of those positive traits that makes me being called the tenacious. At least they didn't give me a nickname that's related to this trait. You want me to build another temple? This here. Send a steward. Get it done. He's 11 now. He picked up the novice spider, so good to know. I hope he becomes a skilled diplomat and even maybe hopefully master diplomat before he turns 16. It's time to study the stars. When you have high learning and high diplomacy, you get more points out of this. So there are ways. Egads, an inbred. I do have other hospital buildings, I recall. Yes, it needs more libraries for more technology points. Every little bit helps. You know, we're building one in Varanasi right now, so it should be done quick. By now, it's clear that Ranjit Singha has been blessed with a muscular and imposing physical appearance. He's burly. Not strong, but burly. So it is in my family's blood, so he has significant rugged physical strength. Increasing his health a bit, combat skill, which is, and as well as hidden from the world at large. A little bit more attraction and tribal opinion if there are any tribals living in the Empire, which there isn't. So it's good to know. So that's the reason why he's a novice fighter. I just prayed to Brahma that let me live long enough till my son becomes a man. Been a while, huh? Oh boy. Threaten him. See how he likes it. You are forgiven. Oh yeah, these two that came here recently. It's your life. I'll prove it. I don't know why you ask me for permission to get married. So I mean, you already have my blessings. strict safety. I wish I would get rid of that man, but I don't want to cause any trouble. Just finish building the temple, then your job will be done. Spent many nights looking at the Starry Laboratory. It's truly fascinating. There's so many questions to ask. There's something strange out there. That's the path that leads you to get more technology points, cultural tech points. It occurred to me that my wife's feeling somewhat gloomy as late. The burden of her unborn child is surely causing some humoral unbalance affecting her mood. I will buy her something nice. Libraries. That's the key. Makes it sound like that I'm a great patron of literature. After all, I wrote 2 different books. Natural philosophy and this was this Hindu philosophy. That is a peasant revolt. Can you handle it? Yes, you can. Get your levies together and deal with them. A friendly offer. During a meeting with local leaders, I was surprised to receive an offer for help in a war I'm involved in. This offer came in the form of a levy of migrant troops based in Varanasi. It seems that the migrants are grateful for the treatment received, feel that this war is their own, and want to lend a hand on myself. Okay, but don't expect me to, to send it your way. Balia is the new temple. Done. A little better. Lack of skill is gonna get you in trouble. Yes, realize the value of kindness. Every display of compassion brings us closer to a purer, gentler, and holier world. And then there's my first daughter. Thinking. Vijnayavati. Vijnayavati. Is that how you say it? 6 years old now. I would say pride. It's almost time when he turns 12. Yeah, thank you. Let's just stretch in. There you go. See what I tell you. Conscientious idolizer and fussy. Okay, you're not going to be one for diplomacy, but this is the one I wanted. And definitely not going to be one for martial, but it can be further improved upon if he wishes to. You ought to go for stewardship education. One would think that we're trying to increase the skills to make him join the Great Trade League, but no need to do that. It's just, we just need an effective administrator to hold this large empire that we're having. And to some degree, you gotta have good diplomacy to go along with that. If you could be a trained diplomat. If your stewardship skills are good enough, maybe. If I continue to live longer while you wait for your next turn in the line of succession, perhaps you will have the experience as being a imperial bureaucrat, I can imagine. Not quite there yet. Don't need to share it. Wait, I don't have the money. A little more. Okay. Introduce heir to the realm. Samrat Padma Singh finally introduced young Rajkumar Rajit Singha at the Gupta Empire as part of his continuing effort to groom the young man as his future heir. Hope he does well. Like to see him groomed to perfection before I will pass on. Rajkumar Rajit Singha has been attentively watching as I meet with my Marshal Court. One always picked up from me. Let's hope it's only good things. He dropped the marshal a bit. Observing the stars tonight, I began to sense some irregular movements. I noticed that some stars seem to appear and disappear at all times. Need to study this more. That star there disappears when I look directly at it. Yes, it's going to make me paranoid. It's a bad trait to have because we don't know what kind of degree of paranoia Padma Singh is going to be having now. So we shall see. But he picked up diligent also. Oh, I don't know about this. Lost a bit of intrigue. Situation between the migrant community and Varanasi and local populace passed through a period of deep mistrust. This leads to decreased stability in the province. Pay them off, not a restless province. Quick, charity! I needed to, so I could become the province security. I've been toying with the idea of using the great fighting capabilities of the migrants to create a military group to enforce security in the province, placing the general population under the supervision of the migrants. This could have good results in the near term regarding province stability. I will do it. So it'll be a peaceful province. But for the next 5 years, they're going to resent me for this and not give me much of levy size and pay less taxes to me. Mir Tejapala of Vindhyachal is a renowned fighter and tactician. Having introduced himself to Rajat Singha, he approaches me with an offer. He is willing to spend some time teaching my son how to fight in exchange for my favor. Help him get his marshal back, yes. You got your prestige up. While having a pleasant conversation, I'm suddenly interrupted by an infernal ruckus. Upon further investigation, it seems Rajat Singha has gotten in a fight with the child of one of the visiting vassals. With 32 children apart, it is obvious that Rajat Singha and Rajkumari Chandala Devi of Maharashtra will not be friends after this encounter. Kinswoman. Oh, you picked a fight with her because she's a weak hunchback. I think you started it. I'd like to think you did. I like to think you did. The Bhikkhu of Mundashwari is a renowned, godly, and learned vassal of mine. I have introduced himself to Rajat Singha. Knows me for the good parts of the Buddha account for exchange of my favor. Give him a little more learning, yes. And he increased stewardship. Oh, heck yes. That man's no demon worshipper. For once, burn the apostate. Rajat Singh has started getting along incredibly well with one of the visiting vassals. Apparently, the Rajat Singh and Rajkumar, Varakunda Varman of the Pandya kingdom are becoming fast friends. He's not the heir, but they'll be good friends, perhaps colleagues in the future. And his brother rules, and he's not going to be in that line of succession anytime soon. And same stewardship education he's going to be having. You'll get it. A wandering holy man has been stopping our court today, telling us stories of various phenomena he has encountered. He is sometimes called on by people to resolve supernatural problems. For instance, recently, he passed by a village in my domain. He had to exorcise a mischievous ghost who made loud noises and threw around objects in the peasant's house. Fascinating. Some spirits are just as troublesome as the living. So he's tenderly watching me during court. Indeed, some of my counselors suggest he's picked up a number of my mannerisms. It's a little unnerving, actually. He's become a erudite. Alright. Much more clever. The last of my vassals have left and Rajkumar Rajat Singh looks relieved. He's obviously exhausted from all the formalities. But having introduced like this, hopefully will serve him well in the future. I have done my best to groom him in a worthy heir. Thank you very much. Well, he lost a bit of intrigue, got his marshal back, increased a bit of stewardship. I hope there is enough time for him to continue his training in the art of diplomacy and perhaps combat. But now, defeat fear. Empty pleasures get rid of later, but I need to defeat fear. I'm gonna learn to defeat the fear of the world and the design of others. It's not good to have paranoia. And as a Buddhist, there is a way. There is always a way. The middle way. We'll end this episode soon. The research I conduct in my observatory now is proving deeply fascinating. I could push my studies further, but I need to purchase more equipment for it to be meaningful. Must move forward. So have you picked up a trait yet? Besides erudite from me? Guess we'll find out soon enough. While I have no great love for the Maharaj, he had no idea he despised so much I began hearing rumors of his hateful comments. When I last saw him in court, the glare he shot my way confirmed my suspicions. So that's how it is, huh? Well, I'll tell you what. You're gonna be a troublemaker. That man must be rid of. Put a bounty on his head. Somebody will get him. Right. Don't worry about it. The money will come back. I just thought he picked up patient. Good. He got it from me. But unfortunately, he also became wary. So he's cautious and guarded with people in different situations. Well, as long as nobody gets you, since you made this kinswoman angry, they will pay for this. Well, son, I guess you're not going to go to the Imperial Academy because that Maharaja down there, down in the south, used his influence to close him. It'll come back, see? Rajat Singh. Rajat Singh. He's a trained fighter now. New migrants arriving. Over the last few weeks, a new group of migrants have been arriving in Varanasi. They're mixing with the settle group, enlarging it and risking decrease. So they were large and now it's very large. Yipe. That's due to the policy of integration, or am I kind? But they could stay. Everybody wants to come to Varanasi. Can't say I blame them. This area is the holy site for Buddhists and Hindus. Okay, burn another demon worshipper. I can't tolerate bad people in my empire anymore. And I just heard a tire screech outside of my window. Alright, we'll end the episode on the beginning of January of 1011. There it is again, the tire screeching. Oh, and good timing too. In parts of Durandpur, colorful rain was reported to have fallen for several days. After some deliberation, the locals consider this to be a bad omen of things to come. Oh no. Well, let me raise a little money and then I will donate to charity in the next episode. As we will stop it right here. Alright, so we hope you people have enjoyed this episode, in which we gotta wait another 5 years until we will declare yet another war for this area, and then one more area for here, and we will finally unite all of India, which again, it is up to my son to accomplish that task, as he is a trained diplomat and a trained fighter. He's still got a few more years of training left before he turns 16, and if I'm still around while he's an adult, I will make him my steward, regardless of skill. It's to help him to pick up the, hopefully get the trait of imperial bureaucrat. Despite my inability to keep the imperial decay down. And subsequently continue on the road towards imperial administration. Which to do that, you've got to have majesty level of 5. No more distractions. And we hope you people will have no more distractions when you come see the next episode. But until then, so long for now.